I'm an American taxpayer, and every year a good portion of our tax money is sent to Israel. And if we ask why, the answer given is because Israel has a right to self-defense. I could buy that argument if they were not ethno-supremacists like Hitler and if Israel were not a settler colonial state. But whatever. My question is, why is my money being sent for their fake self-defense when there are so many other nations in the world whose survival is also threatened? Are you going to send my money to all of them? The reply comes from our sellout media and politicians is, oh, because these poor guys are victims of the Holocaust. Okay, but when did the Holocaust happen? It was a century ago. Who committed it? It was Germans, not Americans. Then why are you sending American money even a century after the actual event happened when I or any other American has absolutely nothing to do with it? There have been so many other genocides where millions of people were murdered, such as Rwanda, Myanmar, Cambodia by Pol Pot, Joseph Stalin killed millions, and tens of millions by British Empire in India, and the poor Native Americans. Is there any other nation that is still paying for the historical genocides? No. So if you think about it, Zionists are the first group in human history that have successfully monetized a genocide and turned it into a cash cow. And they're milking another nation even after a century that had nothing to do with it, and rather it was on their side. Not only that, they've turned it into an instrument of blackmailing opponents and shutting down any criticism or accountability. I have to admit that this has gotta be the best con artistry in the history of humankind. My salute to them for pulling this off. No other nation can come even close to this. And to make the matters even more interesting, besides paying Israel an arm and a leg, we are paying Israel's neighbors also tens of billions of dollars, bribing them to play nice with Israel. And here's the icing on the cake. They're not only taking money from our taxes, there are countless charities in the name of Holocaust victims who are collecting money after a century. And check this out.
Federal authorities say several people are facing fraud charges after raiding $42 million from funds meant to help cash-strapped Holocaust survivors. Investigators say 6 employees from the Conference on the Jewish Material Claims Against Germany approved more than 5,500 fraudulent applications for aid over a 10-year period, giving money to people who did not qualify for assistance.
These folks are swiping American money by hook and crook. And if you question it, you're an anti-Semite. To be honest, I have sympathy for the real victims of Holocaust the same way my thoughts and prayers are with the victims of Palestinian genocide. I'm not an anti-Semite. I just don't want my money to create tragedies like this. I have my own soul of my soul, and it is devastating to see American money and bomb taking away other people's soul of the soul and destroying their lives. Note that if we didn't have to pay this money as a forced Holocaust tax to Israel, or if the government returned this money to us, we could use it for our food, rent, doctor's visits, or even our kids' college expenses. And even if I have to pay that extra money as tax, I would rather this money go to the oppressed communities of American Indians. They're the ones who were actually genocided by this nation. So they deserve this money much more than anybody else. And when you take a closer look at how our money is being spent, they're using the most technically advanced and expensive weaponry to destroy what? Like 20, 30 bucks tents, or like these residential buildings, kicking families out of their homes, bombing hospitals, killing infants, sick and old in the hospitals who are already dying. Our sellout and traitor politicians are giving our money and weapons to the most reckless and cruel army in the world. We spend countless hours working day and night shifts, but for them, it's just free money, and they're burning it along with weapons, bombs, and even live human beings. Unless and until American voters stand up and replace these politicians, we will keep paying the forced Holocaust tax causing the bloodshed in the Middle East. And we will keep taking the innocent blood on our necks. Now look at this disgrace of a senator, what he has to say about the hurricane destruction in South Carolina.
I've been going all over South Carolina like most people. I hadn't slept much. But look what's going on in Israel. Our friends in Israel are surrounded by people that want to kill them, destroy them, a second Holocaust in the making. And Biden says be proportional. What is the proportional response to people who want to kill you and your family? God. They're running out of ammunition in Israel. We have to help our friends.
Did you see his shamelessness? He's saying there's another Holocaust happening against Israel. He waved the Holocaust on our face so that we forget about the hurricane victims of South Carolina and instead send our money to Israel so that they can create more death and destruction in the Middle East. And this is how they create enemies for us at our own cost. Now let's hear from his internationally recognized war criminal puppet masters on what they are saying about this matter.
He said, quote, "What we are doing in Gaza, we can do in Beirut."
מה שאנחנו עושים בעזה אנחנו יודעים לעשות בביירות.
לפני שנה אמרתי דבר פשוט. אמרתי, אנחנו נשנה את המזרח התיכון. ואנחנו אכן משנים אותו.
You see, they're actually bragging about changing the face of the Middle East by spreading death and destruction. What does it mean when they threaten to change Lebanon into Gaza? Does it seem like they are in any sort of existential crisis? While their stooges and puppets in the US governments are crying Holocaust and anti-Semitism. So this is their formula that they wave Holocaust on your face to extract money out of you and emotionally blackmail you. And this formula is always successful and it always works. And it will keep working like that until people realize the fraud that is happening to them and stand up against it. Then it is up to the people to replace the sellout politicians with the honest representatives who are not money-hungry, bloodthirsty vampires, who put America first and really care about humanity. Thank you so much.